Now, we know that coffee prices have risen in some instances. In coffee grades, we're seeing 14-year highs. But there are concerns that a country like Kenya, for instance, cannot maximize those gains because production isn't very dynamic.
Exactly, that's the position on the ground, that the prices have gone very high, which is very good for the farmers in Kenya. And as you have rightly put it, the people are benefiting from this kind of prices are very few, in the sense that the production has been dwindling with the years. We are hoping that there's going to be a bit of, an upsurge of the production, especially that the farmers have gotten motivated by the good prices. When I speak to the Coffee Research Foundation, who usually produce the seedlings and the coffee seedlings, there is a lot of indication of people getting back to their farms.
Now, what's the picture in the rest of East Africa, Daniel Mbithi? Because you've got countries like Tanzania, for instance, the fourth largest producer on the continent, but they're facing supply constraints, so much so that coffee auctions are having to be postponed by about a fortnight so that you can try to gather up a little bit more of what you can, as 96% has already been sold off.
Originally, we have been going through more or less the same kind of circumstances where, because of the low prices that we have been experiencing over the years, most of the farmers have been demotivated and therefore left their coffee bushes. And therefore, when we are talking of Kenya having, production dwindling, it is affecting more or less like all the countries within the region. And therefore, because I think we have had more or less the same kind of an experience in the good prices coming up. I want to believe it is going to be the same trend in the East African region countries.
I think right now it's a case of hindsight is the best side, and if we expect the upside in coffee prices to continue into the future, the question is what's being done to ensure that going forward production is increased, supply constraints are avoided, and that farmers can really fulfill their contracts.
There's been a lot that the government has been doing. We must appreciate that. The government of Kenya has been trying to intervene in the coffee industry for some time now. There's been a lot of education on the part of the farmers on how they can do coffee farming as a business. That's really an encouragement. There's been a lot of that on the ground. The other thing is that other than concentrating on the mainly, coffee growing areas, the traditional coffee growing areas of Central Province and the part of the Eastern Province of Kenya, there's now, an attempt to get to the western part of the country as well, where the government is trying to see whether we can open up, and get some cash crop like coffee also growing in some of those areas where there's majorly the maize being produced around there.
All right, obviously there's another challenge being posed by the anticipated, if that's the right word, drought. The fact that it might have a significant impact on agricultural production going into 2011. What's being done to create safety nets for coffee farmers?
Because of the drought, yes. When it comes to the coffee farmer and with the drought, I am not in the know whether there is any intervention that is being created now. But I want to believe, like now already, what we are anticipating is already the crop that is on the trees now. There is a bit of the crop on the trees. Now, much of what we are waiting for, like the trees that we are expecting to flower now, from now the eastern part, which is not much.
I think Daniel, what I'm trying to get at is, have there been mechanisms such as crop insurance being introduced? It's been such a topic of debate in Kenyan agriculture. If you know that ecological conditions are not in your favor, surely something should be happening.
Okay. Where you can introduce some kind of some insurance and all that. I am not sure whether there is anything like this that is being done. I must admit I'm not sure whether there is kind of an insurance that is coming up. If there is any, I'm not in the know.